Just like the mom didn't abandon the kids, that we don't abandon the people that are still in need.
The Maysville community continues to show its support for all of the victims following this week's deadly fire.
One person is dead tonight after a crash in Bath County. Tonight we're talking to one man who witnessed the crash.
And an Eastern Kentucky bus driver charged with rape goes before a judge today. Coming up, the testimony from today's hearing.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening. Tonight, a Kentucky community continues to grieve. 5 people, including a mother and her 3 young children, died in a fire in Maysville on Tuesday.
People in the community have come together to help those who have lost so much. And as Sam Smith shows us, many have been collecting donations to help the family during this difficult time. Sam has our top story at 5:30.
Mason County 911.
Yeah, I need the fire department down at 217 West 2nd.
5 people were killed in the fire. A family of 4, Lori Doppelhauer Kearney and her 3 children, and their neighbor, Larry Brickles.
There's a hell of a fire at, behind 217 or 219.
The fire destroyed 3 buildings and displaced 30 people. The town is mourning the lives lost. Balloons and stuffed animals are sitting outside of one of the buildings. Members of the community have jumped into action to help those affected by this fire. One example, a local church has started to collect clothing.
Kids' clothes here. If there are any more out there that are still in need, we have, as you can see, plenty of clothes here.
Pastor Kevin Bell with Faithway Baptist Church says they have enough clothing.
A lot of the stuff that was brought in is brand new stuff. I mean, you can see the tags.
He says there's a bigger need for gift cards and gas cards. Those can be dropped off here or at the fire department.
That we don't abandon the people that are still in need, because it's not over. Even though the fire has been put out, the heartbreak is still there, and there's still people in need.
In Mason County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
Funeral arrangements for the family have been set. Their visitation is Saturday at 6 at Southern Oaks Funeral Home in Somerset. The funeral service is Sunday at 2, also at the funeral home. The burial will be in the Camp Nelson National Cemetery.
State police are investigating a deadly crash in Bath County. It happened on US 60 in Owensville this morning. Police say that 22-year-old Jerry Machino missed a curve. His car went off the road, hit a culvert, and then flipped several times. He died at the scene. A man who lives near the scene heard the crash and says the aftermath was hard to look at.
It's tough. You know, he seemed like a young kid, so that made it even worse. But, you know, I hate it for him and his family.
State police say it appears Machino was not wearing a seatbelt.
An Eastern Kentucky bus driver charged with raping a 12-year-old girl was in court today. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Pike County. Police arrested Kenneth Brown last week. They say the victim told them Brown raped her 5 times since June. During today's hearing, a Kentucky state trooper testified in the case. He said Brown was married to the victim's aunt, and she claimed to be home when the incident happened.
These events appear to have occurred not on a school bus and not on school, anything connected with Pike County Board of Education. These events appear to have occurred at Mr. Brown's residence in Elkhorn City.
A judge waived the case to a grand jury and kept Brown's bond at $100,000. Brown's attorneys did not want to make a comment about the case. In Bell County, a woman is recovering after a crash this morning. Deputies say 29-year-old Lindsay Chambers was driving near the intersection of Highway 3482 and Highway 119 when she crashed. Deputies say her car flipped several times and they found her in the road. Chamber was flown to UK Hospital. Deputies are not releasing information about her condition at this time. In Mercer County, we have a scam alert to pass along to you. Police say someone went into the Apple Market this afternoon in Harrisburg and walked out with more than $100. Police say the scam involved an employee who was confused by the transaction. In total, the store lost more than $145. Police describe the suspects as 2 women driving a newer model 4-door Jeep Liberty. In Scott County, a man is in jail accused of stealing a vehicle that belonged to a school. The Georgetown News Graphic reports that police arrested 19-year-old Zachary Trussell. Police say he stole a truck from Scott County schools and then broke into a church. He's charged with burglary and receiving stolen property.
Another warm and sunny day across the Bluegrass, but enjoy it while you can. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey's tracking some changes for the weekend. How about it, Chris?
Yeah, those changes arrive, Sam. Amber, right on cue as we go into our Saturday and Sunday. So you got a few more hours today and then your Friday before the bottom begins to drop out this weekend. Right now, temperatures mid to upper 70s across the entire region. 75 a popular number. Richmond over into Moorhead and around the Mount Sterling area. Defender, one more day of that dry weather. And then we're going to see a lot of shower and thunderstorm action as we inch closer to our weekend. That is courtesy of a potent storm system that's cruising out of the Rockies into the Plains state. Showers, thunderstorms out ahead of it. Colder air and some Rocky Mountain snows that are ongoing as of right now. That low will eventually head toward the Great Lakes and drag a cold front across central and eastern Kentucky. That means wet and occasionally windy changes showing up for the weekend. The overall pattern remains very active as we go through next week. If anything, it may ramp up a gear or two, and there's a little wild showing up in that 7-day forecast when I come back in about 10 minutes.
Thank you, Chris. We have a traffic alert to pass along to you tonight. Traffic on Leestown Road will be diverted as part of the widening project. Starting tonight at 7, traffic will be switched to the inside left lane. Right now, traffic is traveling on the outside right lane. Workers need to make the switch so they can finish paving.
It is the largest private donation in UK's history. Today, the university received $23 million from a UK graduate and longtime donor. In a story that's new at 5:30, WKYT's Monique Blair introduces us to the man behind the money and how his generous contribution will help students.
UK alum Thomas W. Lewis is the man of the hour here on UK's campus. He just donated $23 million.
I would say, although it's a big gift, I can't remember making too many decisions that were easier for me than this.
Lewis is an engineering graduate and later started a successful home building business. Now he lives in Arizona. While out west, he noticed something other schools have that UK doesn't have: an honors college.
There's a real opportunity to compete with those private schools as a public university and to create a special honors college within a bigger university.
Pending faculty review, the Honors College is designed to be the country's leading program. University leaders say it will give students more resources, allowing them to study abroad. Students will have extra support from faculty and staff. With new dorms going up all over campus, there's another one in the works, an honor dorm that will sit next to the library.
Honestly, the honors program it's not a structured program. It's a way of thinking, it's a way of life.
Tolu Odukoya is a first-year med student. He was in the honors program.
This gift is going to attract the best and brightest, definitely.
A $23 million gift that will hopefully go a long way. On UK's campus, Monique Blair, WKYT.
And university leaders hope the new honors college will attract a more diverse population of students.
And speaking of UK, the football team is on the road this weekend for a game against Mississippi State. The Cats are 4-2, and every snap at quarterback has been taken by one Patrick Towles. Carl of Berea has our good question today. Why are Kentucky coaches afraid to change quarterback? Head coach Mark Stoops has said more than once he wants to get redshirt freshman Drew Barker into the game for some plays, but before the EKU game, Coach Stoops said Barker would play. The game turned out to be awfully close, and Barker never made it on the field. One of the reasons he has not played is UK has won or lost every game this season by single digits. There have been no blowouts, and Towles has not gone down with an injury. And with the 2 losses, the games went down to the last offensive series. Towles has the experience. Barker has never played in a Division I football game. As our sports staff here at WKYT pointed out to me on this question, ideally, UK would have a 2-touchdown lead, and that would allow them to put Barker in the game. The games this year have been much too close so far, but there are plenty of games left to play. We'll see. If you have a good question, go to WKYT.com.
School leaders in Scott County plan to meet tonight to discuss the future of a new high school. Coming up, more on what we could expect from that meeting.
I'm Bill Bryant. Presidential polling numbers are moving around as Ben Carson surges in Iowa. And the independent candidate for governor says he offers Kentucky voters an alternative to campaign trash talk. The bottom line is ahead.
I'm Victor Puente in Wolfe County, where a son says his 79-year-old father is still recovering after being beaten last week. Coming up at 6, we'll tell you about the chase that led to.